I sat on my bed staring at the empty crib. My son would sleep there in a few months. The thought made my hands shake a little. At week 32, Laura and I met at the hospital for the scheduled tour. A group of about 15 couples gathered in the lobby, all of them holding hands or touching each other's backs. The tour guide, a nurse in purple scrubs, led us through the maternity ward, showing us the triage area where we'd check in during labor. She explained the admission process and what to bring. We walked past several delivery rooms with their big beds and monitoring equipment. The nurse pointed out the birthing tubs and talked about pain management options. She kept gesturing to Laura and me together, saying things like, "You'll want to make sure your partner knows where to the park," and "Dads can stay overnight in the room." Neither of us corrected her. It was easier than explaining that we were co-parents but not together, that we'd broken up during the pregnancy, that this whole situation was complicated. Laura's hand brushed mine once in the hallway and I moved it away. The tour ended with a visit to the nursery, where we could see newborns through the glass. They looked so small and fragile. I tried to picture myself holding one in a few weeks. 2 days later, Laura texted asking if I had time to talk about names. We met at the same coffee shop where this whole mess had started months ago. She had a list on her phone of boys' names she liked. I'd made my own list. We went through them one by one, crossing off the ones either of us hated. She suggested Matthew after her grandfather. I liked it but wanted something that connected to my family too. My dad's middle name was James, but that felt wrong given everything with her coworker. We kept talking, throwing out options, finding reasons why each one didn't quite fit. Then Laura said, "What about using both our grandfathers' names? Matthew for her side, and Thomas for mine. We could call him Matt or Maddie." Something about it felt right. We both sat there for a minute letting it settle. Then she brought up the last name. She said he should have mine since I was establishing legal paternity and would be on the birth certificate. I'd expected a fight about this, but she just agreed like it made sense. Matthew Thomas with my last name. Our son had a name now. The following weekend, I drove to a baby store and bought a car seat. The salesperson showed me 3 different models and explained safety ratings and installation methods. I picked one that seemed straightforward and took it home. Then I spent an hour in my parking lot watching YouTube videos about proper installation. The base had to be at the right angle. The straps needed specific tension. I watched the same video 4 times, pausing it to check my work. I uninstalled and reinstalled the base 3 times before I felt confident it was secure. The level indicator finally showed green. I tugged on it hard to make sure it didn't move. Then I sat in my car looking at the empty seat, imagining bringing Matthew home from the hospital in it. The responsibility felt massive. My phone buzzed that evening with a message from Katie. She'd heard about the baby through someone we both knew. The text was short and kind, congratulating me and wishing me well. I stared at it for a while before responding. I thanked her and told her I hoped she was doing great. She sent back a simple thumbs up. That was it. Our connection had been real, but the timing had been impossible. She deserved someone without all this baggage. I put my phone down and felt the weight of what could have been, but I couldn't change any of it now. At week 36, Laura and I sat in her apartment finalizing our hospital plan. She wanted her sister in the delivery room along with me. I asked what my role would be during labor. She said I'd be there as Matthew's father and as her support person, helping her through contractions and staying focused on the baby. We agreed I'd be the one to cut the umbilical cord. We talked about what happens immediately after birth, skin-to-skin contact, the first feeding. Laura made me promise I'd be there no matter what time she went into labor. I promised. We wrote everything down so we both had the same understanding. No surprises, no drama, just 2 people trying to do right by their kid. I packed my hospital bag that night. Snacks because I'd heard labor could take forever.